And we are live with another edition of Let's Talk Broncos with your host, Kurt Valenti. Good evening, Mr. Valenti. How are you?
How are you, Mrs. Valenti? Glad to have you back. Glad you are feeling better and you're ready to roll. Let's go.
Ready to roll. You're ready to roll. Absolutely. Are you done with your tagging? Are we ready to hop right in or
Oh,
no?
no, 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 no. I got a
All right.
tag.
Well, then let me do a couple things here. Then let's see. We have Scott checking in from YouTube saying, "Good evening, K and K. Go
What's up, Scott?
Broncos." Um, you guys tonight had a little triple header on the K&K network here. Carson and Kenny were together for Wits and Wagers tonight. Isn't that correct? Usually, will Carson and Clams be coming on Saturday morning as well, Kurt?
Yes.
Okay, with more up to date betting information for those who are interested in watching. Then the regular scheduled K and K show was a little light panel, missing Paul until the very end for good reason. Congratulations to Paul and his Mets. Glad to see him now. Now we're hoping that the Yankees hopefully get a live update soon of a final Yankee score. Hopefully coming soon, coming soon. And then you have Kenny and Paul teaming up on usually Mondays for their some type of New York show, whether it's New York for the Yankees or the Mets, or the New York Giants show that they do together. Scoops returning to Saturday evening programming, right? So I don't think I missed anything, did I?
No, I think we're on. We got Graham aboard now, helping us from behind the scenes, and obviously our high school show. So let's go, baby.
All right, we've got Roy checking in saying,
Up,
"Hey
Roy.
there, Curtin Hoops. Let's talk the true Broncos offense."
Let's go, baby. We're going open agenda tonight, right? And we don't even have, I don't even know if we have an agenda,
We
right? I
don't.
mean,
We don't have an
we're
agenda.
going full blown. We're gonna go full blown tonight with open agenda. Anybody want? Let's talk Broncos offense. Want to start with a little Broncos
Yeah,
offense?
absolutely. I was going to say that's the good place to start. Go ahead.
Jen, running the ball, right? Running the ball. The past two games, we have seen what happens when we run the ball. What happens is it just opens up the pass game. You know, Javonte Williams looks like a different back the past 2 weeks, right? Two big games at the Jets against home against the Raiders, and it's coming together a little bit. And you know what? Hey, that's going to open up when you can run the ball. What does that open up, Jen? The passing game. And you know what? Bo Nix, again, a little more every week. After that little altercation with Peyton, you know, hey, we ran it for 28 for 109 last week. Javonte, another 61. But, you know, again, just we got to continue to do it. We got to continue to run the ball. Keep getting McLaughlin. Estime is going to come back. You know, Watson maybe is going to make his debut any day now, any week. So let's keep running the ball. Use Bo Nix's legs, and again, every week it's just going to open up for Bo. And you saw he made some big throws. Listen, he should have completed that touchdown to Franklin last week. A big one to Reynolds. He gets the touchdown run. I think he what is it, 3 touchdowns last week. But I'm excited about it. I really am. I'm excited about this run game. And again, let's open up this playbook for Bo.
Roy's got another comment. He's saying, "Where do we start now that we are? I think that's supposed to be banged up and have
Yeah,
no depth."
yeah. Again, it is a concern. You know, Michael Ronquillo was talking about it on our K&K show, especially up front. We're getting a little banged up here, and it's a concern, right? It's a concern. We need people to step up. We need. I mean, again, we'll get into the tight end thing with Dulcich being inactive last week, and we need somebody there to step up. But we need Franklin to step up. We need maybe Estime when he comes back. I think his window opened today. Watson maybe stepping up. We need some of these young guys now to come up, or we got to make a move, Jen. We got to make a move with this trade deadline coming up. We should be buyers 3-2 in the playoff run. I mean, we're in the playoffs today if the playoffs were started. So, hey, let's become buyers. Let's get a little more depth. Let's get some more talent on this team.
Well, you know what? Peter's chiming in saying, "I'm a bit concerned this week about the O line, especially against an underrated Chargers D."
Yeah, it is. It is a concern. This is a physical team. They're going to test us. They're going to run the ball at us. They're going to play defense. That's Jim Harbaugh's forte there. It's not going to change. And again, it's why we got to stick with the run. There's no, hey, there might be drives, we get 2 yards, we get 3 yards, I listen all the time and they say with Terrell Davis, and I know Terrell Davis and that team was special, but he would say, "Hey, you get 2 yards, you get 3 yards, you get 4 yards, and bang, then you bang a 60-yarder." You just got to keep wearing them out, keep wearing them out. The more you run, the more it's going to open up. We talk about the Jets, maybe we'll talk about the Jets and that debacle going on, but they're saying the problem is, you know, the Jets just throw the ball. I mean, first off, they're throwing the ball with a 40-year-old guy 40 times, which is just stupid, asinine. But when you just do it and the defense doesn't even respect it, they're just going to send 6 and 7 guys at this guy, and you can't block it, but they don't respect the run. So we can't get like that. Sean Payton's been doing a good job committing to the run. Just let's go, keep doing it, keep running.
Scott saying use Bo's legs as a surprise, a wow factor instead of a constant need, and use the running backs as they're meant to be.
Love it. I absolutely love it. I like that, like how he's using McLaughlin on the screens, right? And he's, getting him in the open space. Let's see Blake Watson a little bit too here. Let's see what he can, let's see what he can do. He's a dynamic running back. Was it, dynamic running back in, let's let Javonte pound it. Estimate when he comes back, pound it, and use McLaughlin's speed. Use Watson a little bit. So, let's get some more speed. I like what he's saying. And the Bo Nix too, like, use his legs. You've seen how fast this kid is. He's a lot faster than people give him credit for. So he could, that could be that could help our run game too.
What was I going to say? You mentioned before, Kurt, the I'm not going to use the word altercation, the verbal exchange, let's say, between Sean Payton and Bo Nix on the sideline. What do you think? Anything to make anything of?
I love it. And seeing articles and comments this week, it was saying that's what Bronco country wanted, because it happened last year. And when Sean Payton went at Russ, what did Russ do? Russ turned around, sat on the bench, didn't say anything, and hid. What did Bo Nix do? Bo Nix said, no, that's not what it is. And then, they were showing, I was watching the thing called the All 22 today, and there was a clip, and I forgot who it was. It might have been Chase Daniels who does it. And he was like, yeah, Bo Nix was right. Like, what he was saying is, look at what he saw, look at what he did. So I love it. And I think Sean Payton loves it. I really do. I think Sean Payton loves that little cockiness in him that, you know what? Again, he didn't do anything disrespectful. That's sports, man.
It was
That's
it was
sport.
just it was passionate. How do you not respect something that, like and I think they do have that relationship. Roy saying they just said they love each other. And there it is. Scott saying mutual respect and they love each other. LOL.
Jen, a little breaking news. Yankees final 3-2. They go up 2-1 in the series. Look to close it out tomorrow.
And then we got Jody chiming in saying, Kurt, we tried to tell people early, get on the Knicks train.
Do it, Jody. And you know what? Hey, that's on them. That's on them. They don't want to get on. You know what? Hey, they're going to miss the train because do it. I'm telling you, every week. Listen, that ball he threw to Reynolds was a dime, but that ball he put on to Franklin, I'm telling you, listen, it's going to be beautiful sooner than later. And you're seeing it again. Just, hey, keep the defense, keep the run game, and let him make a couple of plays. And then you know what? Once we start opening it up, let's go.
We got Pearl checking in saying hello. Pearl? Hi, Pearl. Thanks for watching. I was saving this. I might have to throw this up again later, but I don't know if you noticed, Kurt, but I put a little image in. I
did. I did.
And you can tell what it is, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to throw this picture up for those people who are watching. I'm going to preface, as I have this picture up here, I'm going to preface how I came to know and see this picture on Sunday. Let me just get it up here, Kurt. Let me get it up, and let me get you kind of in the inset here.
What a picture. Oh, my God.
Oh, my you know God. What? You are giving me everything that I need on this because
my God.
I want I want our audience to know that we're sitting next to each other in the living room. And I'm pretty sure, and you can correct me if I'm remembering this incorrectly, Kurt, but I'm pretty sure what you said to me was, I think I'm in love.
We were outside. We were actually on the deck.
Oh, were we on the deck? I thought we were
on the deck watching the 1:00 games, and they took it. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm in love.
You did? You did say that. And I didn't know what you were looking at. and this is what you showed me. And I want to ask the audience, like, should I be concerned? I know I know that you're in bed with Sean and in love with Bo, but as your wife, should I be concerned
Yeah.
that you're showing me this picture and telling me you're in
I
love?
mean, look at me. Listen to me. There's our guy rocking the best quarterback in NFL history, and just the respect of the number 7, the throwback. I mean, come on, man. Like that, I put that right up on Facebook. Bang. I might have to go and I might have to put that I mean, I can't put it on as our profile pic, but I'm gonna have to add it maybe as a second profile pic. Maybe with me, you, Sean. I don't know, but we're gonna do it. Let's go.
It was the I think I'm in love comment that got me here. We got
Yeah.
Michael checking in saying, "Good evening, Kurt and Jen.
What's up?
This
Hey,
is
you know
perfect."
what? Hey, Michael's gonna be celebrating a birthday this weekend, so an early happy
Oh, happy
birthday to
birthday,
Michael.
Michael.
Yes.
And he's saying, "Go Bo Broncos."
Let's go.
And Roy's saying right now he isn't on the Bo Nix train. He's just average. However, there's room to grow. So he sees both sides of it.
Okay.
Kurt
Okay.
Pearl loves it. She loves it.
Yep. Yep.
And then we got Wayne checking
What's
in
up,
saying,
Wayne?
"Good evening." He's celebrating the Mets going to the NLCS.
Enjoy
Let's
it,
go. There you
baby. Enjoy
go.
it, Wayne.
Pearl has no concern. She's saying, I think about Bo there.
Good.
And then Wayne's telling me I have nothing to worry about. It's
Nah.
just a man crush.
Yeah, it's just a man crush. That's it. But I mean, look at that. Like that's Bo Nix with the Elway rocking the jersey. I mean, come on. That's our guy, man. That is our, and you know what I love about it? Like he's rocking the Elway. Come on. The
Scott
throwback.
Scott's telling me not to be concerned. It's just bro
Yeah,
love,
you're fine.
and I'm
You're fine.
okay.
Yep, you're
and
fine.
and then Eddie Murphy saying, "Thank you for tuning in." Ed saying he saw this picture and thought it was a younger Kurt with high heels on to make up for the height.
You know what, Jen? I'm gonna show you something later. Okay, I'm gonna show you a license later, and we're gonna post it next week. And we're gonna post next to this picture. Just gonna throw something out there next week.
Oh boy. All right. And Kenny checking in saying hello, Jen and Kurt. Kenny saying he's got a
Good,
couple
good,
questions
good.
for
Because we
me.
have no agenda tonight. Everything's open agenda, Kenny. So I hope you got 20 questions because
Well,
we're
you
all
got you
open.
got some people with you here, Kurt.
All right,
Wayne
let's go.
saying that Bo's sexy
Oh
baby.
yeah. Oh yeah. The
But Pearl's
fade. Look at
also,
the fade. You know what though? Look at the fade too. Like what a perfect fade.
oh my
That's
gosh.
perfect.
This is where I get a little
Perfect.
worried, guys.
Perfect.
Pearl saying just enjoying a good quarterback. I don't know, Pearl. It's a little more.
No, no, no.
I love it. I love it. Peter saying nothing to worry about. I said the same thing when Jonah Elias buried Minshew in Paxton Tan's pick 6.
Yeah, yeah.
Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. And whatchamacallit? Oh, Michael was saying before that he ordered a custom jersey.
Yes, I
See
saw that.
that very cool. And your Bo Nix that I got you is a custom jersey because
Yeah,
they
oh,
didn't
yeah.
have the Bo Nix ones out yet.
Yep.
Manny checking in saying,
What's
"How
up,
about
Manny?
them Broncos?"
Let's go, baby. Let's go. By the way, nice win for his Cowboys last week on Sunday Night Football. So Manny must be happy.
Kenny tuned in a little late here. His first question was we kind of covered that one about. He said, his first thought is about the verbal altercation on the verbal exchange on the sidelines, which we already covered
Yeah,
there.
you know what? I'll be I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I think I loved it. I think Broncos country loved it, and I think Sean Payton loved it. Because like they said, he did the same thing last year to Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson turned around, went on the bench, and didn't say boo to him. But you know what? Hey, when you're the leader of this team, that just shows like the leader of this team. Because he is. Bo Nix is now the leader of this team. And he basically stood up to Sean Payton. And again, something he believed, like, no, like this is what it is. Or what, like this is what I saw. This is what I wanted to do. This is what we should have done. Like, I love that. I absolutely love that. I think the players respect that. I think the Broncos country respects that. I think everybody, and I think Sean Payton respects it because I think that's the kind of quarterback he wants. He wants that fiery quarterback. That's what Drew Brees was. Drew Brees went after him a little bit, so I think everybody likes that.
Kurt, did they say what the exchange was about? The reason I ask is because You know what? Like, Bo Nix was heated, but I gotta be honest, like, Sean Payton didn't get, like, heated back at him. He kinda, like it looked like he was trying to explain something, or I'm not sure. Did they know what the
Yeah,
exchange
well,
was?
I think it was like the route that that was when he missed Franklin. Listen, it should have been a touchdown pass,
Mhm.
right? It should have been a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
But again, what he read and stuff like that. So I have no problem with that. I have absolutely no problem with that.
Yeah, again, the only reason I say that is I didn't feel like, you know, that Peyton went back at him in what we saw. It wasn't
Yeah.
like it had to be separated or anything like that. It was like he just kind of was like he was like hearing him and being like, I don't know. That was
You know
my
what
take
though?
on
You
it.
know what though, Jen? Like you were a former coach, you were a former player. I love that. I loved it as a coach. Like when again somebody would like, it's not about like challenging you and not listening to you and not, like and Kenny's listening. I saw this all the time with Phil Simms and Bill Parcells. All the time, Phil Simms used to do it. And you know what? Like that's just like the respect factor and like the of a hey, like, oh, I'm going to tell you what I saw. I'm the quarterback here. This is what, you're not you're wrong, but this is, like this is what it should have been.
Right.
And nobody's perfect. Sean Payton's not perfect. Like he's going to say something or see a play. So I love it. I absolutely love it.
I don't know that I ever had a player, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, yell at me, but I do feel like my captains could come to me with, like, concerns or things that, like and honestly, I would ask them. I wanted their input, like, they're on the fields, they're like so, but I never had an altercation like that with a player. I
Jen,
didn't.
I want to talk about something for 1 second, and we got to get into this whole jet thing, but it kind of comes down to what you're saying, right? And again, I want the audience to like agree or disagree with me on this. But I heard something today on Boomer and on the Boomer show, but Phil Simms was on there, so I don't even know if Kenny knows about it, but it's about the Giants, right? And they were talking about like respect with a coach and stuff like that, right? Like how the discipline and we talk about this in all facets of life, right? Work, politics, coaching, the aspect of the discipline and the past couple of you know, whether it's players and stuff of like the lack of discipline in people and letting people talk to you and stuff like that. And they were talking about how the Jets are in this situation now
Mhm,
because of what's his name? Salah, right? When Salah and
mhm.
Aaron Rodgers and they don't respect him, right? Like they don't
Okay.
they don't
Right.
respect him. The quarterback doesn't respect him. And if the quarterback doesn't respect him
It sets
and
the tone
it
for the
sets
whole
the
team.
tone for the
Right.
team. So Phil Simms was saying, um, you know, I don't, Kenny might have to help me with this because whoever was the coach before Dan Reeves, I don't remember who it was, but they said they were bad, right? It was after Parcells. Somebody came in, the Giants were bad. And Phil Simms says, I remember sitting in the meeting the first day Dan Reeves, former Bronco coach, Cowboy great, but he was the Bronco. He took the Broncos to three Super Bowls, sorry, um, with Elway. And it was Ray Hanley, Kenny was saying. But anyway, they were terrible. And he says he remembers, Phil Simms remembers sitting in the meeting room. And he says, in walks Dan Reeves. He says, and everyone, looks at Dan Reeves. And he says, before Dan Reeves says anything football related, he said, everybody sit the F up. I want everybody's feet on the floor and everybody take your effing hats off. He said, and Phil Simms said, when I left that meeting, I called my wife and I just said, we'll be a winning football team. And she said, why? He said, trust me, we'll be a winning football team. It's the discipline and the respect that he said. Now, that doesn't mean Phil Simms could never question Dan Reeves because that's the coaching thing. The difference is the discipline. And
You know
when
what?
you don't have the discipline, Jen, when you don't have the discipline, it's a free for all. And you know what? It's why you need somebody in charge And I'm just gonna say this right now out of Sean Payton. We watch what goes on with the Jets. We watch what goes on with other teams. We watch what goes on with baseball teams. And you know what? As a Bronco fan, I am so lucky that we have Sean Payton. And that was 100% the right move. Why? Because think about it. Now it's about football. There's no more, this guy's late, that guy's not coming to practice, he's holding out, he wants an office. That's done. He fixed that. Now it's all about team, talent, game plan, and winning because he just fixed it. And when you have that, there's no garbage. There's no, back channels. There's no Aaron Rodgers. Listen, I'm an Aaron Rodgers, but no Aaron Rodgers doing this and Nathaniel Hackett doing that. It's not that. It's discipline. And when you get the discipline, and like Sean Payton said, from flat out, Coach, what do you think of Russell Wilson with the office? He said, I know nothing about it, but there will be no office for anybody. He just stopped it. And it's stopped. It's done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. That's discipline.
But I agree with you. And I'm going to say that it's more than discipline. It's about, I guess, like, you're managing these people, like you have to be a strong, like, I don't know and listen, I don't know. I'm flat out saying I don't know that I don't know that he was ever going to be respected by Aaron Rodgers, but I don't know that he like just that exchange that they had on the sidelines. Listen, you see snippets, things are cut out. You don't know where Rodgers like pushes him away. I don't think like Rodgers doesn't want that type of coach. Do you know what I mean? Like he doesn't like, I don't know. I just feel like that is an indication of like how you are portraying yourself to your team. Like, I don't want to be your friend. I'm your coach.
Right. But you see,
like
but let's bring this up. Okay. And it's two people, we don't like as Knicks fans. But you see LeBron James, and it happens, and it happens, and it happens. It didn't happen in one place. Where? Where didn't it happen?
What with Tyrone Lue?
No. I'm just saying, where didn't it, like, in one organization, LeBron didn't get what he wanted. Where didn't it happen? In Miami. Because Pat Riley told him, get the F out of the room. I'm in charge. I tell you what to do. And you know what? He left because that's because of the respect.
What didn't he get in Miami?
What?
What didn't he get in Miami?
Well, he wanted something at the end. He wanted somebody traded, and he wanted to make a move for Miami at the end. And Riley threw him out of the office. We don't do it. I'm in charge. I decide this. See, like as a leader, again, in every fact, you have to be in charge. You don't have to say it nice. I don't want it to say it nice. Sean Payton didn't say it nice. Sean Payton flat out said, I am in charge. We do it my way. I am in charge. If you have a problem, you're gone. And he fixed it.
But here's the difference, though. I don't disagree with you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Eddie's saying he wanted Spoelstra fired. Exactly. He wanted
that's
Spoelstra
right. That's
fired.
right. He wanted Spoelstra fired. That's right.
And
that's
threw him out of the office.
By the way, Spoelstra's still there.
Right. Well, again, but you know what? Why? Because look at the organization. Look at what they did. Look, again, I don't like Riley, but he's an unbelievable leader. He set it straight. They know who's in charge. It's about true leadership.
But you know what? He wasn't the coach. Like we're in a little different situation there. Like I understand what you're saying, but that wasn't going to happen in like they weren't going to get.
But we don't say, Mr. James, we're going to do it. You know what we told him? Get out of the office. We're in charge. We're in charge. That we don't say it nicely.
Again, but you're talking about two different positions, though. Like Saleh couldn't say that to Rodgers. That wasn't going to happen.
Why?
It wasn't going to happen because he knew he would be the one to go. What do you mean? Why? You can't. I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't have handled himself differently, but I'm saying that that's not it's not a comparable situation because Pat Riley was in a different situation. And
Again,
also Pat Riley has the history to back it up. He has the rings. He has, like it's a little different circumstance. He could sell it.
again,
He has he
you know
has
what?
the backup.
Again, I'll say it one more time. In everything we do, the leader, they have to know. I don't care how you say it. I don't care if you're nice. I don't care if you say it mean. The leadership factor. I could tell you this. Bill Belichick wasn't kissing people on the cheeks and telling people stuff. But you know what? They feared him. They feared him. And you know what? He won because of that.
But
Okay?
I don't disagree with you. That's a good comparison, right? But once again, he didn't start out that way. Like he developed into that, like which is fine. And you kind of have to earn that type of like reputation. Like he earned that type of
Right.
reputation
But
and he
if you
could
look
back
at
it up.
Sean Payton,
But my point, let me finish. My point is Salah couldn't be that way. He couldn't. He couldn't.
again, Sean Payton, remember, grew up under Bill Parcells. And Bill Parcells and Kenny and all these Giant fans here can attest to it. He did not give a you know what. And you know what? That's what made Bill Parcells Bill Parcells. Because listen, when you take a team over, right? Like he took the Giants were so bad when Bill Parcells went there. So bad. One of the worst. And I want to give a shout out to Anthony Paterno. He's saying go Skins. Listen, those Commanders are hot, man. And with his quarterback there, Daniels. But like you got to set a tone. And that's what I loved with Sean Payton came in. This team was, I don't want to use the word prima donnas, but you had Fangio, you had Vance Joseph, and you had Hackett. Basically, they did whatever they wanted. We don't want to practice. We don't practice. We're going to have an easy practice. Those games are done now, right from the get-go. Think about it. Imagine, and just think about this, Jen. You're in school, okay? You work in a school. You negotiate your own contract. I want my own office. My office is going to be on the second floor. My office is on the second floor. And, I got my two friends from high school. They come over 3 times a week, and I have them or Kurt. You know what? Kurt has lunch. Kurt has lunch. I take lunch at third and fourth period because Kurt's coming over. Kurt comes to school. And all of a sudden, the new superintendent goes, your office is gone. You're going on the first floor into a room. That's discipline. That's discipline. That's going to teach you a lesson. Whoa. I ain't doing what I did here last year. And you know what? If I want to stay here, I'm listening to what that new boss says. That's what Sean Payton did. He flipped it just like an instant. No more office. You're done. You're part of one of the guys. And whoever these outside coaches, they're gone.
I'm going to say this. That is one style of coaching. It absolutely is. And a lot of the old school coaches are that way. The coaches you've mentioned, Sean Payton, Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells, right? They subscribe to that type of coaching. But you know what? I'm going to be honest. Like the new era of NFL coaches aren't really like that. They're not, right? Do you think Kyle Shanahan's like that? Do you think oh God, why is his name escaping me? The Rams coach, I can't think of his
McVay?
name. McVay,
You
right?
know what,
Yeah,
Jen? I think
hold on, let me
go ahead,
finish, please.
go
The
ahead.
Miami coach, honestly, even Andy Reid. Andy Reid is though able to like, but you can still have like the structure and the management without having to, like that. I agree. Like I don't think Saleh demanded the respect. I don't think he knew how to. And in his defense, like Rodgers came in there all and the players were like in awe of Rodgers. Like they respected Rodgers more than the coach from the get-go. you know? So I think it was an unfortunate set of circumstances for Salah. I don't think that that's in his personality. And it was but who I want to throw this comment at, I think it was Peter who said, Salah, they did him a favor. He's better off not being part of that dumpster fire of an organization, he's
Yeah,
saying.
you know what? You're right. And I will say this, and he's going to become a defensive coordinator next year, probably, or 2 years. And he's one of the best defensive coordinators again in football. And again, it just shows where some people and if Anthony Paterno's still listening, I would love to get his comment because we talked about this before. When you are just a coordinator, right? It shows with Cliff Kingsbury in Washington. When he's a head coach, he wants nothing to do with defense. I just want to do offense, and the team has become a dumpster fire. Now look at the offense. Well, he's controlling his that. He has to worry about nothing with the defense. You don't have to worry about talking with the team, media. Just do your offense. It's the same thing here. He's going to be a good defender. He's going to bounce back. He's going to bounce back. And you know what? Maybe Peter's right. Like maybe it was the Jets are a dumpster fire. But I'm just going to say this, Jen. The New York Jets are going to win Monday. The New York Jets are going to win the AFC East. And the New York Jets are going to be competing for a Super Bowl. Why? Because they still have, regardless of anything going on offensively, they could still run the ball. They're still a top 3-4 defense in football. And you know what? When it comes postseason time, you taking Josh Allen or Aaron Rodgers? I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. You taking Lamar Jackson in a game or Aaron Rodgers? I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. You taking Justin Herbert or Aaron Rodgers? I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry. I'm doing it because you know what I'm saying. And one other thing people don't realize too, in 2012 when Peyton Manning went to the Broncos, the Broncos started 1-3. If you remember, Jen, we were living here, I believe. Tom Brady goes to the Tampa Bay. Oh, no, maybe we're at the other place. Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay. They played Sean Payton's New Orleans Saints week 1. They get blitzed like 49-10. It's going to take a little time, right? It's going to take a little time. The thing, though, is you got the defense, you got the running game. Rodgers is still going to be Rodgers. They're probably going to get Devontae Adams. I'm telling you right now, the Jets are going to win. They're going to be fired up. He's going to throw like 3-4 touchdowns Monday night. And here we go. Everyone's going to look like a hero, and the Jets are going to be right there.
Pearl has asked if you had seen the comments that Bo Nix made about Salah. And here's what she said, that he basically said that the problem was Salah was not a head coach, and he was too, she said, like lovey-dovey with his players to have respect and lead, that he was too much. And then Eddie Murphy chimes in saying this kind of the same thing. He was trying to be more of a friend than a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's again, there's nothing like, again, Bill Parcells. Like if you listen to Lawrence Taylor would say, listen, I love that guy, man. And the same thing with a lot of like Belichick's people. But the thing is, like, you got to let people, when you're in charge, you don't say it nice. You don't have to say it correct. I am in charge. This is how it's going to be. Okay. And if there's not, we're going to have a problem. And there's nothing wrong. That's what I want as a head coach. Why? Because you get results. People, like they were saying, people were fearful you should be fearful as a player when you walked in and they were saying on a meeting in New England, am I going to get cut? Seriously, is this guy going to cut me? And I remember when Belichick, I think it was Chandler Jones, he was like, oh, this is ridiculous. I want to renegotiate. I don't want I want more money. They said, now. He was like all-pro player. They said, brought him in on a Monday. He made a statement. Tuesday morning, shipped him to Cleveland. Like you think anyone else is saying, I want more money? Because that's the respect. He set the tone. You have to set the tone. If you don't let people set the tone and you just okay, there's no fear, then you're just going to see problems all over the place.
I want to tell a quick little story about my very first practice as a head coach, right? So I'm 24 years old. I'm a varsity lacrosse coach, and it's our very first practice. So the only time I've met my players before was at like a preseason meeting. I got hired a couple weeks before the season started, right? So we practiced at that time on the campus, but you had to walk a good 5-minute walk from the school past these other fields to go to our practice field. And practice starts. I'm talking to the group, and I have 2 kids walking down the hill late to practice. And I stop, let them come in. I look at my watch, and I simply say, "You're late." Right? I mean, embarrassed the crap out of them, right? Number one. And honestly, which was not my intent to embarrass them, but my intent was to make a point that, like, this is unacceptable. And I really, at the time, didn't think about like the impact that could have. I reflected on it probably later in my coaching career. But even as a young coach at that time, I didn't want my players on my first day thinking it was okay to walk into my practice late on the first
Mhm.
day.
Yeah.
So it's just like you said, it's a tone that you set. I didn't have to be nasty, I didn't have to be whatever, but it's a tone that you have to set
But
there.
my point is, I don't care if you're nasty. I really
I know,
don't.
but Kurt, I'm talking about high school
No,
girls.
no,
Okay,
no.
you're
But
talking about
right.
professional
But I'm just
NFL.
saying anything.
You
I
know,
don't.
I
It
I could be firm and
right,
stoic
right,
and not mess around and not have to be
right.
nasty and get
But
my point
when
across.
you think about it though, like in life, be nasty because discipline is everything. Rules are everything. And you know what? Sean Payton came in to a place that it was a free for all, anything going down, craziness, reports of this and that, and he fixed it honestly in a year. And you know what? I got to tip my hat, and I'm so happy that he's our coach because now I don't have to worry about the stupid stuff coming out. Now you know what we're concentrating on game plans and players and
Yeah,
trades and
exactly. Let's
drafts.
get
And you know
let's get
what?
to the actual stuff. Yeah.
And
But
you
you
know
got
what? Because he fixed it. He fixed all that. And once that's fixed, everything else smooth. If that's not fixed, you're gonna have what you have with the Jets.
See,
You're gonna have
I think the teacher in me looks at it a little differently because it's like on the first day of school, like I need to get my management and my structure set, because if I
yeah,
don't, I can't start teaching. My kids aren't gonna be ready to learn. Like I have to so it's kind of that same thing. You got to establish that climate, that culture. Exactly.
yeah.
I wanted to get a few comments in here.
Okay.
I love this from Scott. He's saying, talking about like being a head coach. And he said that's why Vance Joseph needs to remain a coordinator. Kurt, I feel like you and I have said this all the time. He is not a head coach. And
No,
that's okay.
it's
Like,
fine.
if you're
It's
going to thrive
fine.
as a DC, then stay as a DC.
It's fine. You
Yeah.
know, it's like the funniest thing, like when you really think about this, right? Like you're taking again, and a sport like football is so different because it's specialized, right? Like his specialization is defense and a defensive coordinator, right? And this is where I argue with Kenny all the time. So that's his specialization. And you know what? Is he doing a good job this year? Yeah, he's doing a great job this year. So why would I, again, if I'm hiring him, okay, now it's a little different. If I'm going to hire Bill Belichick, if I'm going to hire a Sean Payton, I'm not even going to say Sean Payton. If I'm going to hire a Bill Parcells, I'm going to hire a Belichick. I'm going to hire the disciplinarian and the leader of men and that stuff. Okay. But if I'm going to hire even like a Sean Payton, but if I'm going to hire, say, a Vance Joseph because of what he did with his defense, don't I want him calling my defense? Like, like I'm not hiring him to lead my team because when is he shown he's leading the team like in all facets of the game and in the locker room? When is he like he's leading the defense? He's calling the defense. So number one, if I am going to do that, and I'm saying I want his defense, and he's 100% going to call the defense for me, but he's proven that he can't do that. Now, does that mean he can never do it? I'm not saying that, but I don't want him for that. You look at Kingsbury in Washington, right? Their offense looks tremendous, right? Rex Ryan was another one. Rex Ryan flat out said, I don't know what the offense is doing. I don't care what the offense is doing. You can't do that as a head coach, right? You can't do that as a head coach. Now, the Jets were smart because he was so good as a defensive coordinator. I want that defense. You're going to live with it. But he's not a head coach. And again, like you said, there's nothing wrong with that. There's not.
Michael's got a few comments in here I want to get to. He's saying running back Audric Estime is going to be back this week against the Chargers. Been waiting for him to run the ball in an NFL game.
Yeah, listen, that's big, man. I mean, he's another big running back. You team him up with Javonte Williams, and there's your thunder part of it, and your lightning. You got McLaughlin, maybe Watson. Again, I like it. Hey, it doesn't hurt to get another thumper in there.
Kurt, we have, about 15 minutes left, but Michael brought this up too. And I know we can kind of look ahead to the game against the Chargers. He wants to know your 3 keys to the game for the Chargers game.
We got to be physical. They're going to listen. We've said this, Jen, on this show for years. Jim Harbaugh is going to come in and be a physical. He's changed this culture. He changed the way the Chargers were always a finesse, throw it around. They're not anymore. They're going to come out and smack us right in the mouth. We better be physical. We've been physical the last 2-3 weeks. We got to be physical again. This might be the most physical test because they're just going to keep wearing on us. So number 1, be physical. Number 2, I'm going to say again, just, hey, open it up a little more for Bo Nix. Give us a little more looks. Don't be afraid to let this kid go, right? Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, is he going to still make mistakes? Of course he's going to still make mistakes. He's going to make mistakes next year. He's going to make mistakes 2 years from now. I mean, he's young, but I'm saying don't be afraid of it. Like, we don't have to say, oh my God, like if he throws one pick, we can't, we got to take the ball out of his hands. No. Be aggressive. Okay. I want to be aggressive. And number 3, go get Justin Herbert. I love this mentality that VJ's doing. I loved it. Like whether it started with Baker Mayfield, it started with Aaron Rodgers. And you know what? Listen, I know Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old, right, Jen? But Michael, I think, made a comment before. And he said, when healthy, I would take Aaron Rodgers over any quarterback in football. And so would I. And you know what? Hey, if we had that attitude of, you know what? We're going to go after Aaron Rodgers, then you could go after anybody. Because listen, Aaron Rodgers is the one guy that, hey, if you come after him, he's the one that's going to dice you up. And you know what? Hey, he diced you up a little, right? A little. It was bad weather. That helped us. But you know what? Screw it. Listen, we went after him. So why are we not going to go after Justin Herbert? Why are we not going to go after Minshew? Why are we not going to go after Andy Dalton? Let's go. We went after Rodgers. So you know what? I'm not worried about anybody else. Let's go. Go get them.
Scott saying that you have to win it in the trenches on the line.
Yep.
I'd like everybody. This is again my favorite part of the show. When I ask Kurt, don't give your answer yet. I want to give people opportunity to drop their answers. I want a winner and a score prediction for Sunday. And so please drop them in the comments. We'll share them. And Peter saying Herbert is carrying an ankle injury as well.
Hey, you know what? Listen, you punish him for listen, this is sports now. It's not dirty. It's not, but you know what? Hey, you punish, you know what? We're going to test this bum ankle quick. We're going to test it. We're coming at you. You're going to get hit. And hey, you want to go, you want to go, you're going to be getting hit all game. So you know what? That's what sports is about. And that's the mentality. That's what I love about this defense right now. We're aggressive. Like I love the aggressive defense. You cannot just be passive and sit back. Okay, we'll sit back and see. That doesn't work. Vic Fangio, and listen, of course, Vic Fangio is a great defensive coordinator. I'll never say he's not. But that's the one thing about Vic Fangio, Jen. We watched these games how many times together, and it was like they never made the big play, right? Because they were so, okay, we'll sit back, wait for them to make the mistake. And you know what? Like, you get burned like that. Screw it. Be aggressive. Listen, you're going to give up big plays.
Was it the Jets game where they came out on that first play super aggressive and we were like, that's going to set a tone there?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, listen, you're going in football when you blitz and you're going to give up big plays. But the thing is, you're also going to create turnovers, and then that's going to be like, hey, that's going to be our mentality. Like we're going to be under the Fangio defense. It was never we're going to create the turnover. It was like, okay, bend, don't break, maybe hold them to 3. Like you're not going to win like that. You put so much, it's like you're always giving up 3 points. You're always giving up at least 3. Now it's like, okay, is it 7 or 3? Here it's screw it. We're getting the ball back. How many turnovers have we had so far this year? So I'm fired up with that.
All right, we got a couple score predictions coming in the comments, so keep them coming in, guys. Drop your scores in there. Michael pointing out that Joseph is bringing the secondary up.
Yeah, exactly. He's bringing everybody. He's that. I love it. I absolutely love it. That like what I saw, especially with against Aaron Rodgers, like blitzing off the corner, PJ Locke coming backside, like that's the stuff I wanted. All that's forever since we had Wade Phillips in 2015. That's the stuff he did. That's how you win. You aggressive defense like that. I love it.
I missed a few people who checked in there. We have Diggs checking in.
What's up?
Carson.
What's
Carson
up,
gave a
Carson?
little wave as well earlier. I didn't mean to miss those. And I got 4 scores here I'm going to share with you, Kurt. Ready? We got
Yeah.
Michael picking the Broncos by a score of 20-17. Eddie Murphy saying the Chargers will win 45-17.
You know why Eddie's saying that, Jen? He's a Nets fan. He's still worried about his Nets.
Pearl saying she thinks it's going to be a close Broncos win by a score of 14-9. Scott saying Broncos 27, Chargers 20. And Peter saying Chargers 16, Broncos 10. Sorry, I just don't think we can win with the injuries on the O-line.
Listen, it's a concern. It's a concern. And, again, this is where we're going up against a great legit coach in Harbaugh, right? But this is a game where this is why you're paying Sean Payton $18 million, right? I mean, you got a game plan around these injuries now, right? I mean, let's go. You fixed the discipline stuff, you fixed the team stuff, you fixed all that. But now let's go. You got your quarterback. Let's game plan this team. Show them why, again, you're one of, if not the best play callers in football, and let's game plan around that. The quarterback has to adjust for injuries and O-line and all that stuff, right? But so does the head coach. You have to game plan offensive, you're the offensive play caller, game planner. Let's go. Do it.
And before we go, we have a couple minutes left, and I had saved one of Kenny's questions. He had asked, who is on your wish list to add on Broncos offense this year? I'm guessing that should be before the deadline.
Okay, I would definitely. I know, Kyle Pitts was a name with Atlanta with a tight end who could catch. Jen, we just don't have one. It's insane. You watch Kelsey, you watch Kittle, you watch Andrews and Lively, and it's like you're watching these guys run across the field, and we don't have anybody. I mean, can you imagine if we can get a tight end? Can you imagine if we can get a tight end that can go over the middle of the field, could be a safety resort that, could beat a linebacker one-on-one. So, yeah, number one, Kenny, a tight end, a Kyle Pitts. One of the, people were saying, I know Trevor was saying Mark Andrews maybe from Baltimore. I would love Mark Andrews from Baltimore if they want to get rid of one of those guys.
Peter saying that you need one that can block as well.
Yeah,
Pearl saying we have to get another center ASAP. Michael saying tight end Kyle Pitts.
I know they were talking about this on Denver Bronco Roundup last night. The Eagles released Devin White. I love Devin White. I can't see why. I know we signed a couple of other guys, and oh my God, I can't think of his name. The Saint guy, Alexander, and Quan Alexander, and who's the other linebacker? Well, we did another linebacker, a vet. But listen, if Devin White's out there, pick him up, see what he's got. Again, we have trouble covering tight ends. So I'm going to say, again, a Devin White, another linebacker. And you know what? Listen, if I can upgrade at the receiver spot, I'll upgrade at the receiver spot. Mims has to step up. We have to get Mims more involved in the game. But if I can get somebody better, to pair with Sutton right now, let's do it. It's not going to cost anything crazy. Again, we're not going to get Devontae Adams. The Raiders aren't going to trade him to but I'm just saying, if a Devontae Adams type guy or somebody, let's move a couple draft picks, go get him, bring them in. The more talent you get around Bo Nix, Jen, the more it's gonna speed up his process and make it better for him. You know what I mean?
We got another score prediction from Roy. He's saying it's going to be a sloppy game, 13-10. Scott is saying the Chargers have more injured players than we do. He's saying we can blitz, baby, blitz.
That's it. Let's go. Hey, we're gonna have to stop the run first and foremost. They're probably gonna run it over 30 times at us. They're gonna try to run it at us, and that's fine. Our defense has been fine. We got to step up, and listen, Bo's got to make plays.
And Big Red from YouTube is saying trade for Pitts.
I'm with them. I love it.
And Kurt, why don't you give us your closing thoughts, because we're getting ready to run out of time here.
Closing thoughts is I'm excited.
Oh, wait, we need your prediction too.
You know what? I'm going to go 24-20 Broncos. I like that it's at home. Again, game we should win. I know we're underdogs, but you know what? Hey, that crowd's going to be fired up. Listen, we're a little banged up, but they're banged up. They're banged up. Their quarterback's banged up. We got to get after them. We got to stop the run right from the get-go. Make them one-dimensional. Make him throw the ball. Harbaugh doesn't like to throw the ball. Make him do it with him hobbling around. Let's get after him. I think offensively, we'll be able to run the ball. Again, I think it's, stick with the run. Somebody said it before, the play action down the field, early shots, 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2, running situations. Hey, go for the home run. You saw Bo Nix. Hey, you know what? Get Franklin on the field. Get Mims on the field. Get some big shots, expand that field, I'm trying to get behind them. And then, you know what? Hey, you do that 3-4 times a game. Those safeties now got to say, hey, I got to respect this. Now I can work underneath. Now I can run the game, run the ball. But we're home. I think this is going to be, I think this is going to be a great game. I think they're going to be physical. It's going to be a good test for us. But you know what, Jen? If we want to be a good team, we want to be a playoff team, we got to win home games, right? We're in our building. This crowd, we have one of the best advantages when we have this crowd behind us. And let's use it. Let's use it. But I'm fired up. 4:05 Eastern on Sunday. We'll be in this sports room. And let's go, baby.
All right, Jeremy saying 13-10 Broncos. I love when people drop. We have scores all over the board here.
Love it.
Great. I love it. And Pearl saying, thank you for a great show. She said she's going to miss the game because she's working. Oh, too bad, Pearl.
Yeah.
And thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for commenting. And thank you, Kurt, for a great show.
Thank you for doing all the behind the scenes stuff. You do a great job.